That's true of Keller Williams. That's true in any company. And successful leaders at level number 4, they have the ability to take people and place them positionally where they are going to be a success. The highest compliment you'll ever have as a leader is that you help other people be successful. That's the highest compliment. The highest compliment you will ever have as a leader is that you have brought people around you, and those people are better today than they were before they got to you. It is because you've poured in their life, and you've taught them, and you've mentored them, and you've developed them, and you've built into them. That's a fact. And level 4 leaders do that really well. Now, level 4 leaders, number 3, they not only recruit well and position well, they equip well. In other words, they are good at training people. And their training is very simple. Now, I've been training leaders and equipping leaders for a long time, 40 years. I have the largest leadership training company in the world. It's called Equip. We're in 173 countries, and we've trained over 5 million leaders. We are now training leaders so rapidly. We'll be in every country in the world within 2 years. We are now training every 10 months. We're training another 1 million leaders. I understand this. I really know training. I got it there. And there are 5 things that all equipping leaders do well. I'm going to give you the 5-step process of how to equip somebody right now. Okay? Are you ready? Now, before I give this to you, I've got some good news for you. I've got some good news for you. This is very simple. Very simple. And in other words, that person on your left that you've been a little concerned about so slow, here's the good news. Even they can do this. And so just before I give you the 5 things, look at the person beside you and just smile and say, even you can do this. Go ahead and tell them. Encourage them a little bit. Even you can do this. Even you can do this. Even I can do this. I love it. Say right down there, they're looking at me and they're saying, even you can do that. Got a bunch of smart alecks at that table, don't we, huh? And I love every bit of it. You're so much fun. I love teaching. My goodness. Okay, here we go. 5 steps. If you'll do these 5 steps, you will train and equip you. Step number 1, I do it. The first step of training somebody else is to be able to do it yourself. So when I came here for Keller Williams, and they said, John, we want you to teach leadership. Hey, can I tell you something? I can teach you leadership. Because I know how to lead. I know how to lead. I know how to train people how to lead. So when leadership, I'm good at it. Now, it's interesting. Keller Williams didn't say, John, I would like you to come to our conference, and I'd like you to teach people how to dance. Now, there's a reason. Can't dance. This body doesn't cooperate. Just trust me. The mind says, do it this way, and this body says, who, me? I'm not a dancer. I've never trained anybody in ballet dancing. It's just not my strength. You know what's sad? People who can't do something, trying to train people how to do something. If you're not any good at it, don't perpetuate yourself. Okay? If you're not any good at it, don't train anybody else. We don't need more incompetence. Okay? We don't need to multiply bad. But if you're good, you can train somebody. So, there comes a time when you don't need me. You're on your own. Most of the time, equipping stops at step 4, and so if you stop at step 4, you will add, but you'll never multiply. You got to go to step number 5 to compound and multiply. Step number 5 is you do it, and somebody's with you. In other words, you've never equipped somebody. I got 2 minutes to be good here, and I want to be good. Because this will change your life. Trust me, I know leadership. What I want you to do is I want you on your own, not today, not now, but on your own, I want you to take and list the 10 people. Now you may have more than 10, you may have less than 10, I don't know what your number is, but just do 10. Don't do any more than 10, that'll bog you down. But I want you to list 10 people, the 10 most important people in your organization that you're leading. I want you to list their names, and beside their names, now that you've learned this little 5 levels of leadership lecture, I want you to put beside them what level they're on with you. Are they on level 1, 2, 3, 4? And the reason that I want you to assign the level with them is because you have to lead them based upon what their level is. You see, managers lead everybody the same. Leaders lead everybody differently. That's a huge difference. So if you want to manage, life gets simple. Just lead them all the same and not be successful. But if you want to lead people, what you got to do is you got to know where to find it. Remember, it's slowly at the top. Well, if it's slowly at the top, what do you have to do? You have to go down. Well, what you got to do when you go down is you got to find the people. And you got to find out where they are, because you can't take people where they need to go until you find where they are. The first step of a leader is find out where they are. And the second step of a leader is to develop a strategy to take them to the next level. So, if you're on level 2 with me, I got to get you to level 3. My whole goal for the next 12 months isn't to make you a level 5 leader. My whole goal for the next 12 months is just to take you from level 2 to level 3. If I could just take you up one level, can I tell you something? Everything begins to compound. Hey, if you have 10 people that you're leading, and you improve them this year 10%, you don't change their lives. You don't improve them 100%. You just take 10 people that you're leading, and you improve them 10%. In 1 year's time, you're getting the production of another person. Just 10%. The great thing about leadership is you don't need to lead people a long way, you just need to lead people a short way, but you need to have a strategy, and the strategy is very simple. You got to find out where your people are. Now, time out, because I'm passionate about this. The book, The 5 Levels of Leadership, just came out a year ago. But I've been teaching the 5 Levels of Leadership for 30 years. When I go to Microsoft, I teach 5 levels. When I go to West Point, I teach 5 levels. When Delta a few years ago got into chapter 11 and had to call timeout to get their financial act together, they sat down with me, the leaders of the organization, and said, John, what would you do if you wanted to change this organization, get back on? I said, I teach the 5 levels. I taught them the 5 levels. I taught their top 3,300 people around the world in Delta, the top 5 levels. And 2 years ago, I went back, because now Delta Airlines is the most successful airline in the world. I went back to Delta 2 years ago, and basically, the leaders of the company said, we put the 5 levels of leadership in our culture, and it's literally changed our company. This will change your life. This will change your life. And here's why. I don't have time in the lecture to give you this, but in the book, every level, I help you know how to get yourself to the next level. And I give you a strategy to get other people to the next level. I'll give you 4 or 5 things to do to get the person from level 2 to level 3, from level 3 to level 4, wherever you need to take them. Yeah. How many of you in 1 year would like to have the most successful year you've ever had in leadership development and leadership training in your entire career? Would you raise your hand and think about that? Now, it's not a trick question. It's not even a motivational question, but it's a question I really want to ask you, because I'm going to tell you how to do it. In fact, look at your neighbor and say, John's going to help us. Go ahead and tell him. John's going to help us. In fact, look at your neighbor again and say, and you need John to help you. It's very obvious. You need John to help you. Now, I'm having fun with you, but I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And the reason I'm going to tell you exactly what to do is I've done this for 25 years. I know how to do it. I always, with my leaders, know what level they're on. And when I sit down with them to take them to the next level, I help them understand. And here's how I have it. Listen, you need to let the people that you're leading understand the 5 levels of leadership. So I'm going to give you a suggestion. This suggestion will work. If you have 6 people that you really want to develop as leaders this year, I'm going to encourage you to get 6 copies of this book and take it back and say, look at me, we're going to sit down with the 5 levels, and for the next 3 months, we're going to learn these levels together. sit down with them and go through the 5 levels of leadership. And you're doing it for a reason. Here's the reason you're doing it. You want them to know what level they're on. And you want them to know what level they're on with you. So what you do is, after you've studied the 5 levels for 3 months together, you look at them and say, okay, what level are you on with me? What level am I on with you? Are you with me? Hey, now watch this. When you both decide you're on level 2, okay? When you both decide you're on level 2, now you sit down and you go in the book and say, now, here's the strategy. Here's what John says we need to do to get to level 3. And for the next 12 months, you have a step-by-step strategy to take it to the next level. And let me tell you something. For the first time, people that you lead, it will make sense. And I'm going to tell you why it'll make sense. When you're trying to develop people, if they don't have a clear roadmap of why you're developing them and what you're doing with them, I promise you they won't stay with you. They'll just look at you and say, I know that they're trying to get me better, but I can't figure out where we're going. This is your roadmap. You see, if I could walk off the stage and I could talk to you today, I would ask you 2 questions that will determine your success as a leader. The first question is, what are you doing to develop yourself? And the second question is, what are you doing to develop others? The first one will bring you personal success. The second one will bring you leadership success. What are you doing to develop others? There will be some of you today that will literally do what I just suggested. And 12 months from now, I promise you, you'll catch me. You'll catch me here at Keller, or you'll catch me somewhere. You'll catch me. And you'll say, John, I just put together my best 12 months as a leader. Because I have given you a strategy to develop you and develop others. Now, stay with me for just another minute. Look at your neighbor and say, it's only going to be another minute. Go ahead and tell them right now. It's going to be another minute. Hang on, okay. In fact, I meant to tell you when I started today, if the speaker gets boring, come and get me and we'll both leave, okay? I started off by saying that Keller Williams is a great company because it's developed a leadership culture. A few months ago, your leaders at Keller Williams came to where I was, where I live in West Palm Beach, Florida, and they brought some of the best leaders in your company together, and we did what we call the 21 Laws of Leadership. Now, this 21 Laws of Leadership basically has 2 CDs within it. One is me teaching the 21 Laws of Leadership, but the second one is where each law I teach, I interviewed one of your Keller Williams people of how they've been successful implementing that law of leadership in their business. So I literally interviewed for every one of the laws of leadership, and their personal stories are on this. I'm going to suggest that today, I'm sure that somewhere they got this available. Would that not be true? Okay, somewhere this is available. If I was part of the Keller Williams family and this was my business, I'm going to tell you what I would do with this. First of all, I would get one for myself, for my own personal training. Because if you listen to one of your peers talk about how they took that law and applied it to your business, then all of a sudden you say, oh, that's how I take that law and apply it to my business. Because you're going to have the example within your own Keller Williams family. That's one. So I would get it for myself. Second thing I would do is I would get it for a recruiting tool for clients and people I want on my team. Do you know what it will do for you if you go find somebody that you really want on your team that really loves leadership, and you say, here, John Maxwell partnered with our company, Keller Williams. And in it, he teaches not only the 21 Laws of Leadership, perhaps you've read the book, but in it, he talks about how Keller Williams, how the people of this company apply these laws and are successful. And I'd like for you to have it. Can I tell you something? You'll begin to attract people that love leadership. Now, I'm done with that, except to say, what a great tool your company is providing for you to learn leadership well. What a great tool your company has provided for you to use to recruit other people that you want on your team. So I just close with this. In a moment, I'm going to walk off the stage and we'll go right over there because that's where my 5 levels of leadership book are. And I'm going to sign books. I'm going to sign books for 32 minutes. I'll sign as many books as I can. you want to get them for your group, you just come over and get them. But I want to encourage you to get your 21 laws. And I want to say this in closing. As always, when I come to Keller Williams, you are a group of people that is making a difference. You're making a difference in your life. You're making a difference in the lives of others. And I love coming to Keller Williams. I'm going to raise my right hand someday and become an honorary Keller Williams. Thank you so much for having me today. I've enjoyed myself immensely. You are beautiful people. Thank you very, very much.
Isn't this great to have John Maxwell here? And believe me, with the 21 laws, you're going to hear from Mary on here, Mark, Will. It is amazing. And they're being sold outside. All the books of John's are over here. They'll be over there signing. We want to thank him for doing this. John, I've been following you all over from Denver. I'll tell you one quick story.
I've been following you, girls.
They called and said, hey, we want to hear John in Dallas. So I drove up. I was going to spend some time with you. And they said, hey, would you help us sell books? And I said, yes. And so I started going, I don't have this book, I don't have this book, I don't have this CD, I don't have this DVD. And I helped sell books for you all day long and only paid $1,350 to do that. Now, look at where it got me, though, right? It did help. I've actually known John for about 13, 14 years.
Quite a while. It's been a great journey.
Yeah, we've been great friends.
I've loved every moment of it.
And you have sold your homes through Keller Williams.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, my home's in Florida. Listen, when I came to start finding this company, I said, Keller Williams is going to sell my houses. And you've done 3 of them for me so far. And you've done a great job on the rail. Even in spite of the economy, you've done a great job. Thank you.
Well, they're all lining up over here. I do want to tell you, though, we raised for Diane Rose. Listen up, Diane, over there selling your quilts. We raised for you $8,354. So, John, you have to come back and see us again.
I will. I'll come back and say, thank you, Keller Williams. I'll go over and sign right now, please. Thank you very much.
All right. I just want to end today letting you know John does an exchange every year. Many of us have been there. This year he's going to be up in Boston. And I just heard that there are 3 available spaces. Okay? The others have all been sold. And it's because 3 people backed out of it. And that's why there's 3 available. So if you're interested, go over where